just, I think with time, it takes more time as well to write more books. That's what I tell myself.
Wow, wow.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very, very interesting time to be alive, actually. A lot of things are
Quite
happening.
interesting, I agree.
Too many
So what is
things
your...
are happening.
Yeah.
पहले लाइफ बहुत सिंपल होती थी. You know, इंटरनेट नहीं होता था, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मुश्किल से.
Can you just share something with our audience, like they would like to know a little bit more about you?
Yeah, sure. We can do a small intro between us, and then we can go
Yes.
from there. Yeah, actually, this is my second mom interview, mom discussion.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, but the other one, she's also from Bombay.
Yes, yes. I was part of her. Yeah, one live with yours, like Megha, right?
Yeah, with Megha.
Yes,
Do you both know each other?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, lovely. So I'm becoming part of the mom group.
Yeah.
I need to. I'm doing something right, I think.
This
Yeah.
book is going to be very helpful to all the moms. I've read through a few chapters.
Yeah.
I didn't get time to read the whole book, yes, but I did go through a few chapters.
I was actually talking to my wife about this today. It's like a lot of moms are liking my books, man. Something I did. I'm not even a dad, but something I did.
You're getting really famous now.
With the moms.
With the moms.
Yeah, it's a good side, I think, no? Because moms are super connected to life. So
Yes.
it makes sense. So yeah, lovely to meet you. About me, I don't know what to say about me, but I'm kind of breaking everything about me right now, to be honest. So I'm on the journey of writing a new book right now, and through that process, I am re-looking at everything internally to be writing something that truly reflects who I truly am. And even doing lives or whatever I'm doing right now, I am not scripting anything or practicing anything or thinking about it. I'm just letting it all happen as it's happening. So it's a great space to be navigating through, and I think I'm really enjoying this space of kind of breaking the eye. And yeah, that's kind of like a bit of a brief of what I'm sharing about what's going on with me right now. What I haven't done in the past, it's kind of in the past now, no?
Yeah.
So I don't want to go too much in the past anymore. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me in the moment. And yeah, you are a mom, and how many kids you have?
One. She's 4.5.
4.5. She,
yes.
nice. So what made you decide to be a mom?
It was nothing like decided, but yeah, so we just planned it. We finished like 3 years, and then we decided to plan, and I conceived. And so yeah, like after COVID, then I decided so earlier I was working as a digital marketer, as a social media marketer, yeah, in one of the multinational companies. So then COVID happened, and then I decided I don't want to work right now because I want to spend most of my time with my daughter. So my husband insisted me, why don't you start sharing your parenthood, your motherhood journey with others? And then slowly, steadily, I came on Instagram and I became a blogger. I got very good response, and then I turned into an influencer. Now I'm full-time influencer.
Amazing. So what was in terms of influencing, it's mostly other moms you're influencing because of sharing your struggles or challenges or tips or all the things you have to deal with or have had to deal with about many things. Is that what you're primarily doing now?
So earlier, yes, I started with that, but later on I changed my niche to couple reels, to fashion, because I've got amazing response. People love my fashion content, so then I'm now slowly moving to fashion.
Nice. So fashion specific to somebody or specific to
Nothing specific, like day-to-day wear.
Day-to-day.
Yeah.
But for women?
Yes, for women, yes.
Okay, nice. You're designing your own stuff?
So no, not designing, but just as an influencer, recommending different places. Yeah.
Nice. Love it. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about your journey as a mother. You know, how's it been?
It was a roller coaster. Like earlier, it was all good. It was going very smoothly. But then, as phase changes, like my daughter turned 3, then it is called terrific 30, right? So then 3, sorry. So yeah, she started.
You're already looking forward to her being 30. You're like, okay, I'm past the early years.
No. 3s, yeah. Sorry. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster kind of. Like earlier she was quite, and I can't say understanding, but yeah, she was not stubborn earlier, but now like as she's growing old, growing up very fast, she's becoming stubborn. She wants to do everything on her own. She wants to become independent from now, so it's becoming a little bit difficult. Yes.
What's the challenge with that? Like when you can see her becoming, because you want to kind of find her, like you want to give her the space to figure it out, but she's very young, so you need to kind of be there as well to make sure she knows how to navigate through the world. But like how are you finding your balance with that, with her and your own specific individual life?
So right now, as gentle parenting is viral or it's trending, I'm trying that. And being an Indian mom, it's not that easy, frankly speaking. At some point of time, like with Desi mom actually comes in you and she's like, why are you doing this? Stop it, this, that.
So you can
like,
see
yeah,
your
I'm trying
own
to be
mother
calm
in
in
you
few
sometimes.
situations. I'm sorry.
You can see your own mother kind of coming into you sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, it does. So yeah, so I'm trying to be calm in few situations, trying to understand her, empathizing her, like, okay, fine, let's talk about it and we'll go smoothly like that. So at times it gets difficult, it's a bit challenging, yes. But then it's fine, it goes well.
How are you balancing with the technology part? Because we grew up in a time where we didn't have to think about all these things around us, neither did our parents. It was much simpler back then, and now it's like the world is getting too crazy, sometimes not for good things, I feel. So like having kids in that environment where their brains haven't developed fully yet, and they don't really know how to navigate past right or wrong, like there's no understanding of that because they're just so open-minded and curious, which is a great thing. So how do you kind of preserve that curiosity of the child, but making sure like they don't get sucked into technology as a vortex where they're just like on their phones 24/7, addicted to it when they are 4 years old, So how do you like navigate through that?
So I have made a rule that like she gets a screen time only during her meals. Yes. And even at those times, I have the control, like what she's watching. Either it's some educative content or some short story movies or some quiz time, like kids quiz, because there are quite many channels on YouTube also nowadays. And everything has pros and cons, right? So like pros is like she's learning a lot. Okay, somebody said speak in Hindi. So shall I continue in Hindi then?
Yeah, up to you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's a difficult.
You have to make that mental switch करना पड़ता है.
Okay, so YouTube में बहुत कुछ अच्छा आता भी है and like it depends on us also कि हम लोग कितना screen time देते हैं, like how much limit हम लोग करते हैं उन पे, right? So yeah, like we need to have control on our kids.
तो वो meal time में she's eating and she's on her phone.
I'll say that I am the one who feeds her.
Okay.
yes, because she doesn't eat like roti sabji saath mein,
Right.
like, or else she'll eat only roti and gur. So when I'm feeding her, I'll make sure that I'll give her roti, dal, sabji, everything together. Right.
Nice.
But yeah, like when it's snack time, tabhi like she eats on her own. And that time she gets those 10-15 minutes of meal time.
But
because we have made a rule that she gets to
Let's
eat,
say
yeah.
when she gets older,
Yeah.
let's say when she gets older, I'm bringing a hypothetical situation, and it's a family dinner time. You know, you and
Yeah.
her and the husband and few other family people.
Yeah.
And तब family dinner में उसको phone चाहिए होगा तो क्या करोगे आप?
This has happened, I'll say. Like every time you go to a restaurant, you know, if there's some family dinner, ऐसा होता भी है.
Yeah.
So I have made sure to carry at least few things with me. So something to distract her, to keep her occupied, like a coloring book and color, or she gets to draw something, or I've taken one soft toy with me, like she plays with that. But when it's meal time, she does ask for it. But then I say, "Okay, na baba, family time hai. It's family dinner, so no distraction and let's talk." And I keep interacting with her. कि क्या करेंगे अभी? आपको क्या खाना है? Like आपको कल क्या करेंगे? Like, you know, distract her with different topics.
Nice. Because आजकल adults ही phone पे रहते हैं dinner के
I
time
know.
पे. Kids को phone दे देंगे तो और क्या होगा?
और क्या होगा? I agree.
Oh God. So
I understand,
yeah.
like, because आजकल adults भी बहुत सारे phone पे ही रहते हैं.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's a socially accepted addiction.
Like, keep scrolling, you know.
It's a socially accepted addiction. Like the whole,
Yes,
like
yes.
till 20 years ago, they didn't exist. And in
It
20
did.
years, like 99% of the people in the world have it. And
Yeah.
we're all addicted to it and we've all accepted it. It's just how quickly it has all happened is we don't realize how, like right now we're starting to realize the importance of balancing with technology and the negative sides of it, and because now we have seen both, you know, we're seeing the positives and the negatives, so now
Yes.
we're kind of like learning to work our way around it. But because it happened so fast, the transition, like we just never got the time to kind of like understand how to work with this. So it's like I ask this question to mothers or fathers a lot because like the kids now, they're just growing up in a very different world. Like they're not growing up in the world we grew up in, you know. They don't understand
it's completely
that. Like,
technology world, you know.
yeah,
completely
technocratic
digital.
world.
And at the
Yeah.
age like 2 साल के बच्चे को अभी पता है like how to switch on YouTube, how to go
Yeah.
through all the shorts. Like I have been viewing in my family also, like बच्चे हैं like 1.5-2-year-old kids, mom hand them their phones and the kids know how to switch on to YouTube, how to go through all the shorts, like go through their favorite cartoon character channels and everything. They know how to fast forward, how to play and pause. It also depends on parents also, right? Ki you need to have some control.
Yeah, ज़रूरी है, वरना तो मतलब I mean, we just don't know how this next generation is gonna be like, to be honest, because they are growing up in a completely different ecosystem as what we grew up in, or what our parents grew up in, or their parents grew up in. You know, it's like for thousands of years we had one ecosystem, and in just few decades that entire ecosystem has changed. You know, so it's like the new generation is being created, which is a very technocratic generation, you know, like where they're gonna go with technology, we just cannot even imagine yet. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I look at both the, मेरे को थोड़ा डर भी लगता है इसको सोच के, you know, because I don't know, like AI and all भी आ रहा है, so I don't know where
the future. You don't know the future. Seriously, the kids are very fast, very. Like I'll tell you, like my personal experience. Like I don't know how to interact. I don't know how to answer my daughter. Like because there are times वो मुझे कुछ बोलेगी, and if I'll tell her something, she'll answer me in such a way that I don't know how to reply to her.
Yeah, we just don't know.
We just don't know.
And we really don't know. We really don't know. Because
they have answered to everything, and it's so quick.
Yeah. It's very quick, it's very fast. But
Very
let's
fast.
see, I mean, like looking at it from a spiritual and consciousness perspective, I think spiritually, I personally feel that the world is getting hollower. That void is increasing more and more, and especially in young people, you see more and more now, even more. And like nothing can replace that, like as you said as well, the distraction part. At some point, you'll have to realize you cannot distract yourself any longer, and you need to face what you're feeling and what's happening internally. So that's where I think the spiritual void is just increasing a lot. So yeah, so that's going to be interesting for us like humans to kind of navigate through all of these changes, which are completely creating new generations, but how to kind of bring them this ability, like they have all the information and knowledge, but they're lacking wisdom, and wisdom is something that you kind of gain through experiences, which shape your physical being, your emotional being, your internal beings beyond the mind. So that's gonna be an interesting one. Yeah, let's see. I'm writing about it in the new book, not not non-fiction. It's fiction only.
Oh wow!
But I'm exploring these subjects in a deeper manner through characters to kind of bring light to this. What's happening is, I feel personally, is that chronic illnesses, mental illnesses, all these things are increasing a lot. And this is happening a lot very fast because of these exponential systematic changes that have happened in the world. And there are good sides to it. Good side being us, we can do this live stuff and all of this stuff. But there's a lot of negatives and underlayers of it which are kind of systematically now have overtaken our lives as well. Like mentally, let's say you talk about anxiety or these kind of things have also taken over us. So I think on a deeper level, there is some sense of balance missing. And everyone's balance is different, yes, but on a collective level as well, we're missing some sort of a balance. So I think वो बहुत interesting space है for artists, I feel personally, because a lot can be created in that space, in the sense कि लोगों को जागरूक किया जा सकता है इस समय, जैसे कोविड ने किया, like internally जागरूक, really awakening the consciousness of people. It's a very prime time to do that, I personally feel. It's already happening in many ways. But it's a very, very interesting time to be alive, actually. A lot of things
Quite
are happening.
I agree.
Too many
what is
things are happening.
Yeah.
पहले लाइफ बहुत सिंपल होती थी. इंटरनेट नहीं होता था, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मुश्किल से आती थी इंडिया में. So you'd wake up.
Everything has changed. Everything.
Yeah, man. Really. I know we sound like two oldies, but it really has.
I agree. I am 31. I still feel, oh my God, I've turned so old now.
No, we're young. We're getting younger. But do you feel like after having a kid, you feel like you're getting younger, or you feel like you're getting a bit older? The kid is bringing out more like the child spirit back.
No. Then I feel young, yes. Yeah. Like, I love to be when I'm around her. Like, that childishness is still in me when she's with me. It feels quite lively. And
you think it has increased more because you had a kid, because the kids are just that?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll think about it when I'm thinking about having a kid. Let's see. I'm talking to a lot of moms these days. Let's see what happens.
No, I guess soon, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. Who knows, man? Life is unpredictable. I'm open to it. I think I'm open to it, but I'm not consumed by it either. Like I'm in peace with both scenarios, I feel like. But I do know, like, if I have a kid, it will change my life a lot, like externally.
It will.
In comparison to not having a kid, life is always changing, but it's a totally another ball game when you're completely responsible for
Absolutely.
another deal.
Life changes upside down after having a kid.
Yeah, because it is your responsibility. You
Yes,
chose to bring
yes.
somebody in this world, so it's totally your responsibility.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, it's on you, right?
Yeah.
So that will definitely change a lot of things. So, but I'm in peace with both scenarios. I would say, if it happens or not, it's okay.
You'll come to know later on. I'll ask you that.
Yeah, ask me later. 5 years from now, we do another live.
Oh.
And you have 3 more kids.
No.
But do you think I have an interesting one? Do you think it's better to have like one kid or few kids in today's time? And I have another question onto that. I'm asking this question. I'll tell you why. Because nowadays, especially in cities, like you live in Bombay, and most places people are becoming cities, and India is also going into that nuclear system where people live very close. Like families are becoming smaller, basically.
Right.
It's not like before, like neighbors bhi hai, ye bhi hai, the kids are playing around with everyone. So nowadays, like I feel, because पहले क्या होता था, people used to do 5, 6, 8 kids, and by the time they're doing the 8th kid, the first kid is taking care of the 8th kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of that age, like that. And so you're not, like as parents, you're not taking care of all the kids all the time. They're taking care of kind of each other.
Yes.
So that attention or that independence also kind of follows with the kids, and they have each other's company, and they kind of, doing their thing. So today, like in today's time, because especially in all the young, educated Indians, they're having kids, but they're choosing to have mostly one kid.
One
So
kid.
you think, yeah, it's like statistically they're choosing to have one kid, not even two, one kid. So do you
One
think
kid,
like
yes.
it makes a difference for the kid if there's a one kid in the house or
Yes.
2 kids in the
It
house?
does.
Yeah.
It does. Like I'll tell you my story. So I was always keen. I always wanted to have one kid. Okay. And now my daughter is asking me for another one. She's like, I want couple. I want brother, mama. I want brother. Get me a brother. I want to play with him. I'll take care of him. I want him to sleep next to me, stay with me all day. I'll take care of him. Don't worry. This, that. I am in two minds because right now, looking at this situation, we have to think from all the aspects, like financially, like everything, like the relation with your husband, everything, because you have to give time to your husband also, your partner also right now.
But
it's not only about.
Don't you think having another kid will free up, like not right away, but let's
It
say
will, yes.
2-3 years from now, it will free up space in your lives for each other more because the kids will be like kind of busy with each other.
No, it will free up lives, I agree, but starting again from scratch, and even you have to look from financial point of view also, right?
Yeah. It's such a twins हो जाने चाहिए. Best है. Twins करो.
हाँ, sorry.
Best है twins करो.
Twins करो.
Best है twins करो. एक ही बार में पेट लो.
I always wish that I wish यार 2 kid at least twins हो जाए, because my mom after me she has twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always wish कि काश twins हो जाए, एक साथ 2 हो जाए तो खत्म हो जाए.
Yeah, at least एक बार में काम खत्म तो वो बाद में हमें गाली दे की दे. It's okay because twins later on they're like एक ही हो गया, हम सब कुछ एक ही मिला, कोई difference नहीं हुआ. Even people think we're the same, we're not the same. उनका अलग identity crisis चलता रहता है.
I know.
But it's okay. That's for later on. At least the early years you pass it on.
Yeah.
Financially भी buy one get one free में चला
Buy one
दोगे
get one हो गया.
50%. It's better.
I agree.
I think they should start this fertility business of twin kids.
No.
Oh my god.
So yeah, like
I think I should. Huh?
Yeah. Sorry.
I think I really need to come meet your mom's group, in a big circle.
We'll have one live with them also.
Yeah, I'm in.
Completely moms community.
Yeah, I'm in. I'll just make jokes about it, and you guys have fun. Tell me your mom stories.
Done.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So
Okay,
this
now
is
your
all from
turn.
my
Like,
side.
now
I
I
don't
want to
think
know
I
a
have
little
more.
bit about UnHerd.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do some serious
Yes.
stuff.
So, yeah. I would really want to know, like, one advice that you would like to give my followers uh, on parenting wisdom or insight that you have gained through your journey, through your own
Um.
journey. Like, what is one thing you would like to share with new parents?
Yeah. It's like Unheard specifically is it's not just a book anymore. It's a movement that is very dear to my heart, not
Oh,
because I have written the book, but because it's a journey that I personally went through of
oh,
realizing that how being raised in India and being brainwashed in this system of being in India is so detrimental to young people and Indian growth of Indian society in general. Because what's holding us back as people of this country is ourselves and our misunderstanding about our traditions, our cultures, and our own abilities of understanding that life is not a rat race, and it's very, very necessary for us to be able to question life, question ourselves, question what we truly want, and find that belief internally in us that we can do it. And young people are starting to do this, but I personally believe it's not a matter of skills, information, talent, or even education for that matter. Like they're all important and relevant factors, but the most important thing that we're not focusing on is this spiritual void that is missing in Indian society at the moment. We have all the religions of the world, we have all the texts of the world, but the deep inner belief system is all messed up right now
yeah,
because we're not able to, like, we have all the temples and all the mosques, but we're just not going internally inside and
yeah,
breaking that eye to be really, really seeing who we truly are and being able to accept that and bring that in the world without seeking for other people's validation, but truly just showing who we are and creating from that space, whatever we want to create. Somebody would want to create a family, become a mother, do other things, create a business, create artworks, create movies, create whatever, but that needs to come from a space that is truly who you are. And that is completely missing because in knowing who you are, you need to let go of everything that people have put on you as this is who you are. And this is what we do in India a lot since we are born. Like we just put people in so many boxes and labels that they cannot even explore the possibility who they're not, you know? So like this is why I also like I make jokes about talking to a lot of moms, but they are the most important people in the world
yeah,
because they are the ones who are deciding how they want the next generation to be like, you know
I agree. Yeah,
and they're raising their kids. The more they raise their kids in a free way, with understanding about life, with giving their kids the freedom but also the responsibility for the kids to choose who they want to become, without projecting like this is what my kid will become, like this is what I like what you couldn't do, you're projecting on your kid and like want
yeah,
them to do. Like it's actually really messed up thing, like trauma wise. So it's something really like Indian parents need to break out of, and like our generation, we just grew up with these parents, and
yeah,
it's not their fault, but this
yeah,
is how we were raised. So like this young people of this country, like there's a lot of energy, but it's very distracted energy right now. So Unheard was about bringing a story that kind of inspires people to connect back with the three pillars of their strength: the love, wisdom, and strength. Love in their hearts, wisdom in their minds, and strength in their bodies, to kind of connect their own alignments and find their true guidance, which is inside them, and follow that, like having the courage to follow that. So it's not about educating people or re-educating people, it's just reminding people that it's you who you need to believe in yourself. If you're expecting others to believe in yourself but you don't believe in yourself, like, it doesn't matter. It all starts from you. Like, the whole world, your whole reality you're trying to create, it can only change if you change yourself internally, and that internal to external cycle needs to flow that way. It's not going to flow this way. It doesn't flow the other way around. So this was the intention from which, where this book came from. It was actually a byproduct of COVID. Because I was, before that as well, I was doing all these things, but COVID was like, people were like, wow, you make a lot more sense now. I'm like, yeah, of course, sure, I understand. Now that you're stuck in a house for 2 months, I'm making a lot more sense now. Now you get why I was going for Vipassanas. So it was, a lot of grief and pain and suffering came from COVID, but a lot of expansion also came. It showed us what we needed to see on a collective level.
A lot of self-realization,
Yeah, like, it was a great awakening, a collective awakening mechanism. And a lot of people have forgotten now, but somewhere deep in the psyche, it's still there. Like, something happened, like consciousness changed in some ways. So I think with UnHerd, it's just kind of like keeping that realization and reminder in words through a story that connects with people on a deeper level without the external of what happened, but the deep realization which they cannot word to themselves. They know something happened, but what happened they don't know in words. So kind of bringing that to a story form and sharing it with young Indian people. I mean, it's for all age groups, but I think young people in particularly, they need it, man, more than anything. They need they really need some, like, some kind of, and I'm saying this because I needed it as well, through this whole years. Like, you just need something, like something that is not just like a hashtag Instagram something, something deep, something that really resonates with something going on internally and externally, and you're like, wow, this makes sense to my inner calling, like, this feels right, that kind of a thing. Like, when you're in love with someone, you just know you're in love. You don't need to think about it, it's like those kind of things. You just know something. Like, truth is a funny thing. We fight a lot about what's the truth or not, and religions are built around truth, but truth is not a thing. It's not something definite. It's an ever expanding force. It's an ever expanding phenomenon. Truth is something we feel. Truth is something we realize. Truth is something that we realize that we'll always be realizing. So it's like the universe is always expanding. So I think just bringing people back to the basics of spiritual foundations to fill the void that they're feeling internally is the work of UnHerd.
Wow. Wow. It's quite interesting. I started reading and it's quite interesting, I must tell you.
I hope you like it.
No, I really liked it.
Yeah.
We'll talk when you carrying it wherever I go. Sorry.
Share your feedback once you finish.
I will definitely. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, please.
Yes, definitely. So I have one question. So both your and others, they can be source of support and escapism for basic moms. What role do you think reading plays in parents and even young kids' lives?
What role does what?
What role does reading will play in parents and young kids' life after reading your book?
Oh, specifically my book.
Not only yours, but what role? Like, how does reading play an important part in your life?
I think reading in general, I think reading in general, it's one of those forms of like being involved in, like as an art, as a craft, like watching movies or reading something. It's not gonna ever get extinct, no matter how rampant the technology becomes. Maybe the medium of it might change or evolve, podcasting or other forms of mediums may keep on coming, but reading as a as a as a channel of creation will always be here for humanity. And there's a reason why, because, and I'll share this from a writer's perspective and a reader's perspective. As a writer, as a person, what writing has done for me, it's given me a lot of clarity on life and on myself. Because writing is not something that you just write some words and something just happens. Writing is a very deep art form. It's a deep art form about going deep inside you and having words flow through you in a manner that truly resonates with the truth of who you are. And if you're writing for longer formats, like the word from the beginning to the end of the novel, if they have to connect, you need to be in a very heightened frequency for it all to work, for it all to make sense to you and to other person. So writing for yourself is one thing, and writing for yourself and being able to communicate those ideas to other people, it's like, it's a very deep art form. You know, it's not something easy to do, actually. And I'm not saying that because I can do it, but I'm just saying it's not easy to do. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of patience to write a book or write really elongated ideas. That's why, you know, like nations are built on constitutions or built on literature. Like everything you see around you, like in terms of a nation, society, company, everything, they were first written down on pieces of paper. So there's a very important power of words on paper, not just words, spoken word, like words on paper, having well thought of, because they give a lot of clarity to you. Like it's the way you kind of give vision, manifestation or materialization, the first materialization of your vision. You know, this is why writers, like really great writers, have been read for thousands of years. Because, you know, you read Rumi today, even if you wrote about love like a long time ago, it will sound more relevant to you today, because that's the power of writing. It's about writing, bringing words to things that cannot be worded by everyone, but they feel it, you know. So it's bringing words to those feelings, to those truths of, like, forces of truth that are very in the gray area. And our lives are so in the black and white that we forget that the force or the power is in the gray area. So great writers will always be able to do that. They will always be able to bring a lot of power into writing. So this is the importance of writing, and in terms of what creates, like, reading a book so powerful. Like, what is a powerful book about? It's about what they wrote and how they wrote it and what they're able to do with it. And then reading in general is, so when you're reading, you're taking that depth, no? Which you cannot get that depth other places in that way. If you're really connected to an author or a book, you are really taking that depth through their words, through their understanding. Because, you know, let's say you find a great book, you read it today, and you read that book again 10 years from now, you will take a lot of things from it you didn't take before.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, so it's like, it's a reflection of your consciousness as well. So reading in general is, even like for, let's say, for adults, for moms these days, no matter how technologically advanced we get, I mean, giving your kids the habit of reading, I mean, they will thank you, because it's a very underrated or underappreciated. Like, you can completely educate yourself through books.
Completely. Yes.
You know, you can learn just so much through books, so much. And if you add the layers of technology and YouTube and all these other internet schools there, you have all the tools. And, you know, the great thing about books is they're very cheap. So they're available for everyone. And there are a lot of libraries where you can just read them for free. So reading, writing, both, you know, they're just amazing. Not because I read and write, but for everyone.
So earlier I had this habit of writing, journaling my thoughts, but later on, like with busy time after motherhood, everything changed. I've lost that, you know, that habit of journaling my things. I guess I'll have to start it once again. You've inspired me
journaling is
to
amazing.
do that now.
I started writing because of journaling, by the way. It's like,
Oh.
it's like my writing career is a byproduct of journaling. And Yeah, I just it's that's why I also like created a for people who wanted to journal or don't know what to do when they wanted to journal. I created a specific like guide for that. It's called Figure Out Your Why, which has like
Oh
steps
wow.
like 10 steps with empty pages. It's like a journal, but it's a guided journal basically. So I created that specifically for people to start writing. Because writing and reading, like together they fit so well. And journaling is like, man, it's like people don't realize the power of journaling. It's so strong because if
I
you start,
agree.
yeah, it's like it
I
makes
agree.
you,
Like earlier, I used to journal each and every thought of mine. Like before sleeping, I had my own diary, and used to write every little thing. Like even the moments, like the ones that you can't describe in words. I mean, like you can't describe that moment, but you can just journal down your feelings. You know,
yeah,
you can.
journaling is top number one on self therapy list.
I guess I'll have to start it right away.
Yeah, and do it in the mornings, like early mornings when
Oh,
nobody's awake, like
okay.
before your daughter wakes up. Like even if you do half hour, 15 minutes early morning, it's the best time to journal because that's when you will get your clearest thoughts out on the paper.
Okay.
Because your brain is like on a because when you sleep, your brain goes in a deeper wave. It's like there's alpha, beta, and gamma, something like that. I don't know the sequence of it. But when you
Okay.
are like in deep sleep, you're in a very deep, like your brain is in a deep wave. It's the same wave you go into when you're in very deep meditations and you go into samadhi. So you're very like expanded actually. That's why we
Yeah.
need sleep. It's when we expand and we process everything. So when we wake up, we still have that wave going on somewhere. So if you
Oh.
wake up and you meditate and you journal, it's like your cleanest, your purest things will come out into the words. And you don't even have to think, it will just come. So it's the
Oh
best time to
wow.
do it.
So you
Yeah,
do it
early
in the
morning.
early morning?
Yeah, I'm writing actually right now in the morning, so that's kind of like what I'm doing. It's the only
Okay.
time I'm getting to write these days. शादी के बाद बहुत बिजी हो गया हूँ मैं पता नहीं टाइम का जाता है कह रहे बुक ही नहीं लिख रहे हो मेरा लिख रहा हूँ बट खत्म नहीं हो रही है 10 बार आ जाती है बीबी दिन में
So I guess that's why you're saying that it's early morning is the best time. No kaka from BB, you know.
वो तो मुझसे पहले उठ जाती है
Oh.
but yeah, no, she's very cute. She's not the reason. Yeah, it's just I think with time it takes more time as well to write more books. That's what I tell myself.
Wow, wow.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it was lovely meeting you. Yeah, I'm glad we had a
Same here,
fun,
same here.
fun chat, and I would love to meet you and other moms in Bombay when I come
Sure,
there.
we'll plan something
Yeah,
soon.
yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Give my love to your husband and your daughter, and
For sure, for sure.
take
Yeah.
care. Lovely to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Bye bye.
guys,
Yeah,
yes.
whatever she's saying, yes.
So guys, if you have to check out this book, UnHerd. It's available on Amazon. I'll be sharing the link. You can DM me. And okay, nice meeting you, Kartikeya. Thank you
Nice
very
meeting
much
you.
for
Take
having me.
care. Bye bye.
You too. Bye. Good night.